Hey guys, what's up and welcome to Young Titan World. Today you might be asking me, what is it? What are we doing today? What color is the sky? Why aren't you in a relationship, Samuel? Well, yes, there are a lot of good answers that I could give you, but I think the most powerful one is I am too good for anyone. That's for the last question that was asked by no one except myself. And the other one is the sky is black. I mean, I don't know what you'd expect because we're literally in the dark of the night walking back to our place and wishing that we made better choices in our youth. Wait a minute, I'm still in my youth, so that shit's still going on. Oh man. Okay. So, today, I just want us to talk randomly. We don't have to talk about important stuff, but I do have a story to tell, and I'm gonna be as brief and as quick about it as I can because, you know, the closer I get to my place, the more silent I have to become, and the more my background will sound rowdy, full of cars and taxis, all making their way home because, well, they've got to go sleep. They've got to rest, for another day is coming. And they cannot spend all the time on the road, you see. They've got lots of things to do, not much time to do it. In case you haven't noticed, I am, of course, a student trying to work out my goal for this life. Basically doing my master's here in Morocco, which is just going on great. I don't remember. It seems like every single day that I move through, I keep on mentioning the fact that I'm doing my master's. It's either I mention it in an interview, it's either I mention it in a conversation. I don't shut up about it. It's like, oh my gosh, everywhere I find myself, I constantly mention the fact that I'm doing my master's. And it's not like it's something that I even wanted to do. It was just an opportunity that presented itself, and I threw myself at it. That's all it was. It's not something that was part of my plan in life, like I figured it out when I was in high school or something. It's like, I want to take care of human beings. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to make a very proficient plan that's going to wound me up in a country that I cannot understand either of their languages, but I'm gonna make it there somehow because that's what I am. I break through the barriers and I'm invincible and nothing can stop me. Now, whilst the latter might also be sounding pretentious, it's basically how I've been able to survive. So that was a little cocky, but it's still on point. But yeah, the whole idea to do my master's over here in Morocco was not exactly one that I prepared for, but it's something that I had to come to terms with. Where I will be is that I will be in the US doing my PhD and also making a ton of amazing YouTube videos. That is the plan. And that plan is not going away anytime soon. Now, granted, there will be a lot of side steps, side quests, and a lot of pieces that may not make sense to me entirely. But I can tell you what. One of these days, my podcast, and I mean my podcast, is gonna be on the very grounds of the United States of America. Because that's where I will be, and probably is gonna be the place that I die. Hopefully that's not the case. I do plan to retire in Japan, so I guess I'm looking forward to that one. I mean, that says a lot, doesn't it? It does a little bit, but I think my priorities right now are just to isolate which part of my life I need to improve. So far, I have been working getting in and out of shenanigans. Every single step of the way has been met with difficulties, trials, and I've also had to let go of someone I consider to be my very best friend. Yes, if you look at the detail, I look like the bad guy through and through. I am very unresponsive. I'm dead inside. At least to some parts of the story, you understand the damage that was inflicted upon me. And maybe it's what I perceive as damage, and it's only I who is experiencing that, and the person probably had no idea. But what would you have me do? Would you rather stick with someone who made you feel like you meant nothing to them? Or would you be alone and appreciate your self-worth? Now, yeah, like when I say that, I don't mean the person was constantly and intentionally trying to make me feel that way. Maybe they were, maybe they weren't, but that's not the part that I'm trying to take out of it. It's how I felt, you know? How I feel is important. Now, I know maybe a lot of you guys may have a lot of subscriptions to what Andrew Tate and other muscular and self-disciplined individuals might believe that, okay, work through the pain, work through being ignored, work through being called a dick, work through being all that negative shit. Like, okay, fine. You want to stay in a toxic relationship? Sure, do that. You do you, boo-boo. I feel happy for you, but I can't, and I know that I will be better off if I'm not in that shit. That's just how it is. I've analyzed the situation and I've come up with a perfect and exact way to improve upon myself. So if the cutting away from toxic friends is not arranged for self-improvement, then I'm sorry. I don't think I want to be self-improving anymore. Because to be a better person, you have to be around better people. And yes, when I say that, some of y'all probably just hightail it to whatever it is that they're trying to do with their lives. You know, like, do they have a plan for the future? Are they thinking about what their lives are gonna be 10 years later, 5 years later, 2 years later? All of them, yes, what if they did? What if they were very progressive? What if they were like thinking about their families and friends and how to improve their lives? How about their social skills? Are they nice to you? Or do they treat you like shit every step of the way? Do they make it seem like it's a dumb reason to care about you? Do they make you feel like you constantly have to prove that your existence in their life is valid? Are you constantly struggling with how you feel, like what you mean to them? Because if you are, chances are they don't really care about you. Maybe they don't. Maybe they don't. Sometimes even having a heart-to-heart with them is even worse. Because then they realize, oh my gosh, I really don't give a fuck about you. But you're such a good person. And then you give me stuff. You know, it's like you have certain benefits. They can't take care of you emotionally, or they cannot be around you emotionally. So they just pick off the things that they can get from you. You know, like, you've got these stuffs, but I can't take care of you. I'll just keep on taking them and make you think that you belong with me, you know? Just let yourself fall apart whilst they get to nitpick off whatever it is they find useful from you. Your bad side, they don't care about it. They don't help you improve. They make you think that. It's like a motivational speech from a YouTuber, but the YouTuber has no idea what you're going through. Our world sucks, and it does not make sense to have someone in your life who makes it even worse. You know, I'm trying as much as possible to not make them seem like they're terrible, the most evil people on this planet. I'm trying really hard. It's taking every fiber of my being not to twist this all around and turn this into a hate podcast. Because I'm very emotional, honestly. Every single thing that happens to me, at the first instance, it feels like nothing. If you insult me, if you make fun of me, if you hurt my feelings, at the very point, at point zero, it doesn't really hurt. In fact, it just brushes off, but it doesn't go away. I explained this kind of feeling in this format. You shoot a bullet, all right? But with my defense system, it slows the bullet down, almost to the point where it stops. But it does